Hey, what's up, folks? It's your favorite sorcerer release. So, Pax, in this video, I want to talk about how to work with demons correctly and how to get the most out of it, right? There are different ways on how you could work with them, but I'm going to share with you today a way of working with them out of which you're going to get the most benefit. See, reality is rather fluid. You can change things quite a bit, but that requires not just external changes, that requires internal changes too, right? So every ritual that you would do, even if it's just an evocation in which supposedly or at a surface level, the demon or the spirit that you call is completely outside of the rituals, outside of the circle, in the triangle, and outside of you. This ritual is also supposed to have an effect on deeper psychological levels of your own unconscious mind. And when I say psychological levels on unconscious mind, I'm talking about energy layers in your aura. Okay, so it's not as vague as most people would make it seem, or maybe they just don't know how the mind and how the energy body actually work. Okay, but every ritual that you do, if you want to see changes externally, changes within you. When I say within you, I'm talking about your aura and your energy field need to take place as well. All right, so both of those are interconnected, as within, so without. Good. So how would you work with a demon in order to get the most out of this? This is rarely ever mentioned, and hopefully this information is going to help you. So when you work with a demon, they're capable of making things happen for you that you, at this point in time, are not capable of making happen. Okay. Now, why is that? Or why would you work with them in the first place if there are angels and spirits and other things, right? Now, angels are usually worked with in the context of theurgy, which means you want to refine your soul, you want to elevate your frequency and your vibration and evolve spiritually, right? Other spirits have different jobs to do. They can be helpful in certain aspects, but demons really are entities that really can get the job done in these lower worlds when it's about materialistic stuff, as well as just the base human stuff, fucking surviving, money, all of these things, right? So for those things, demons are really, really good. Okay, even when it comes to positions, attaining certain status and whatever career opportunities and whatever the fuck could be necessary, right? So for those jobs, demons are very, very good. Now, if you were to do that correctly, changes will happen within you, right? But this is rarely ever understood correctly, because see, the mind has its limitations, and magic is supposed to expand those limitations so that you attain more degrees of freedom and more degrees of influence over the world around you, right? So let's talk about a demon of seduction, for example, right? So you could call that demon up and just put a love spell on somebody, but that is only half the story, if that, because what it is actually supposed to do. See, when you do a domination spell or a love spell or something like that, what is taking place is, before the physical event happens, the physical result that you did the ritual for, energetically, astrally, something has to take place first. Okay, and when it comes to influencing somebody, or even just some circumstances, you will be able to penetrate that energetically. So your astral body penetrates the astral form of that circumstance or that person. And that is what happens before the physical counterpart manifests. So in a sense, you expand, because before that takes place, you will feel that you cannot expand yourself into either this thing or this person. Okay, so it's going to be You're going to feel restricted in that sense, okay? Now, the spirit and the entity doesn't have those limitations. When you do a certain activity on a daily basis, let's say you go for a run every morning, I think you can see that that will change your body and the structure of your physical self, right? Why? Because the physical activity will activate certain chemical and hormonal changes, and that will then change the physical being that you are. The same applies to spiritual exercises. If you meditate on a daily basis, you will have certain chemicals and certain processes running in your system continuously, and that will change you at a very subtle level, sometimes more visible, sometimes more subtle, but changes will occur spiritually. The same applies to any kind of energy work. Okay, so regular energy work and practice that you would do in a magical context, as you should if you're an actual magician, you need a practice. Okay, now if you do this practice on a regular basis daily, it will change you. You will have continuously this energy and these subtle changes and these chemical changes happening within your being, and that will change you as a person, and will expand the limitations, ideally, of your spiritual self. Okay, and with that, of course, comes more power. Now, please understand, I'm not saying that this is the only thing that matters, right? But it is part of it. You know, yes, the spiritual theurgy and the expansion spiritually and the development, the evolution of the soul is very important, yes, but the mundane stuff needs to be covered too, man. We cannot focus on the top unless we have covered and full control over the mundane, okay? And for that, a certain class of entities, usually categorized as demons, not necessarily evil, that's not what I'm saying, but they're categorized as demons by, let's say, the Catholic Church. In that context, these beings are very helpful. In this video, I can't go into detail on how to work with them and how to make the rituals really, really work for you, and how to basically lay out and practice the process that I just described. But this weekend on today is August the 20th, and this weekend, let me check. This weekend on the 24th. On the 24th of August, I'm going to teach you how to do that extensively. And after that, you will have something that you can use in a lifelong practice with each new entity that you come across. Ways to work with them, which will actually change you as a being and, make you incredibly powerful. Okay? So if you're interested in that, send an email to grailoftheserpent@protonmail.com with the subject line seminar, okay? And I'm gonna get back to you. I hope to see you there, and peace.